Of course, I went on a retreat for you guys. You know, Nate and I are the youth pastors, so we weren't really going for us. We were going to have a blast with you guys. But God also wanted to say some stuff to me too, which was really exciting. So a few of you had asked what was going on. So before retreat, as you know, I had a crazy year because I changed my job, and then Nate got a new job, and then there was just a lot going on. And most of it all was actually pretty good. But you know, even when you have like a really good season, sometimes, you know, other things are going on at the same time. So it was a fantastic season. Getting married was like the best thing in the whole world for me. It still is fantastic because I married a keeper. But, you know, inside, there was some stuff just going on throughout the year, some ministry stuff, some personal stuff that just was like a little heavy. You know what I mean? You just have like something heavy in your heart. You know what I mean? It was one of those things. And so I was just kind of carrying that a little bit. And so we were on retreat, and the second night came, which I feel like everybody starts their testimony with, then the second night came, you know, but it's true. So the second night came, and we were worshiping, and first I was kind of nervous about the second night, you know, because we had that big Dorito thing, and it was just weird and random and strange and non-related to anything, but like inside, I just wanted you guys to like it so bad, so I was like, Nate, what if they laugh? In fact, Jordan, was it you that I went up to? I was like, just tell me it's gonna be good. And Jordan was only there for the one night, so she actually didn't know what we were doing. So she's like, I don't even know what we're doing, but yes, it's gonna be so good. So I was like, okay, just keep telling me. So I just wanted you guys to love it, right? So anyway, that I think went pretty well. You guys laughed, so it was good. And so I felt relieved after that. And then, you know, the worship happened, right? And we all, you know, went to the altar. It was cool, you know. And just for the record, just because we were leaders doesn't mean we didn't cross the line either. Like, we had to cross it too. So, you know, I mentally crossed the line as well. And so I'm up there, I'm worshiping, and gosh, I think Mel was singing. What was she singing?
Was it You Don't Miss a Thing?
It was You Don't Miss a Thing!
Yeah.
That's right, it was You Don't Miss a Thing. Thank you. So we were singing that, and I was kind of like in the middle, kind of behind the little makeshift soundboard thing. And so I was just kind of on my knees, and I was just so happy that you guys were all worshiping, and like, it was good. You know, as a youth pastor, that's good, you know, you need that. And so, but then I was kind of just focusing on just me and the Lord, you know? And there's a verse in the Bible, and you guys have probably heard it before. It says, we are the clay, and he is the potter. And who has ever seen like a potter actually do something with clay? Pete, yes. Pete actually, is he still here? There he is! Pete's here tonight. Love Pete. I miss Pete. Anyway, Pete, I've seen Pete do that before. In fact, one time last summer when we had that awesome Inspired event that we had here, he actually had me try like to do the pottery thing, and you saw it. Did you see it? It is so hard. You don't think it is, but you actually like, they make it look so easy. Like Pete probably just like sits down, he's just like, ta-da, bowl, you know? That's not how it goes, okay? You have to like press down. Your back shouldn't hurt, like I don't understand. So it hurt a lot. And it's relaxing. If you know what you're doing, it can be relaxing. But when you don't know what you're doing, it can be very difficult. And there are times, and Pete will probably tell you this, there are times where you're working on something and you kind of just have to crush the whole thing. Isn't that right, Pete? And I think that's kind of why the Lord put that in the Bible. Sometimes God has to kind of crush certain things in you to rebuild you. You see what I'm saying? So we were there, and I kind of that verse came to my mind, and I kind of felt like God said to me, and for those of you who have been like, what does that mean? God said to you, like, no, I didn't hear his audible voice or anything, but I just felt like in my heart, the Lord was whispering to my heart in the only way that he can do. And he was, I'm paraphrasing, but there was some hard stuff, like I said, some ministry stuff, some personal stuff that was just, you know, a little difficult. Apart from everything cool that was going on. And God's like, you felt you got like a little crush there. I was like, yeah, I did, a little bit. And God was like, he kind of said like, I have crushed you so that I can rebuild you. And that to me was the safest thing, because you know what, if God does something like that, then I'm totally safe, because he's a good God and he never harms us. We might go through things that are really rough, but when you're in God's hands, you're completely safe. And that was just so cool for me. And so I was like, Lord, you rebuild everything. You're so good, and I don't deserve any of that, and you're awesome. So it was really, really good, and I had a really good time in the Word when I got home too about all that. And then, you know, I kind of felt like the Lord wanted me to sing a little bit. So I did. No. That's not why I'm saying. You were all very sweet. But that's not. Thank you. That's not why I'm sharing that. It's actually, the reason I am sharing that is because I have been afraid to sing for a really, really, really long time. It's been about 7 years. I was trying to calculate it the other day. And we talk about stretching and like going out of our comfort zone, and here's Pastor Gab, and she's not going out of her comfort zone with something, and God's like, get out there. And so it was kind of an out of the comfort zone thing. But to be honest, it wasn't like, oh, I'm singing now, everyone hear me sing. It was just finally a time of where God's like, you need to be obedient to me now, and if I ask you to do something, you need to do it. So I did that, and it's not gonna be an all the time thing or anything, but it was just a time where God was like, be obedient, And to be honest, as your youth pastor, to be up there and just singing, and even when I wasn't up there, just worshiping with you guys, watching you guys worship on retreat, guys, was like 5 years worth of encouragement as a youth pastor. Like just watching you guys just press into Him. Yeah, you give yourselves a hand. And God, I know God did that. Like, it's not like, oh, look at us, we're so awesome, we worship. But yeah, watching you guys worship was literally so encouraging to my heart. So people are like, what did God do to your heart on retreat? I was like, I got encouraged. Because I just love you guys so much. And I know that is not the end of something. That's the beginning of something. And just, we can worship God just like that here. And things that God did on your heart on retreat, I want to see God do those things while we're here on a Wednesday night. When you're walking in the hallways of school, I want to hear stories of what God's doing in your life. Like, that's what He wants to start doing in the day-to-day stuff, because that's real life, So anyway, that was my testimony. People wanted to hear it. That was me. There was much more detail. I'm not going to go into it, because I got to go. So I love you all. Thank you for listening to that.